Hello, what is up guys? It's EvilDuosArm here today, back with another Blade and Soul video. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the defense stat in Blade and Soul, more specifically for like a new player, what is the defense stat, how does it work? And for a more experienced player, we're going to take a look at like the maximum hard cap on the defense stat, as well as where you should be aiming to hit your defense stat so that you're getting the most out of it without over investing points into it. Real quick, before we begin, if you're new to the channel, new to Blade and Soul, or enjoying the content on the channel, please consider subscribing as it does mean a lot to me. And without further ado, let's get into it, and let's get started by looking at the defense stat itself. If you press the P key on the keyboard and navigate over to the right column side here where we have all of our defensive stats, you're going to see a couple of different options. You're going to see defense, PvP defense, and boss defense. Different gear that you get throughout the game is either going to have bonus points to boss defense or PvP defense that goes over and above the defense stat. But for the most part, the defense stat is your base defense and will apply to just about every single scenario in the game. Your defense stat is broken into two options. You have your base defense, which varies depending on your class, so some classes have more base defense than others. And then you have additional equipment bonuses that you get for all the different gear that you equip. All of these add up to give you a damage reduction percent, and this damage reduction percent varies based on how much defense you have. It is not a linear increase, as we'll see here in a second. Defense is primarily increased by the use of soul shields. Different soul shields have different options that they can get as far as stats. One of the options you can get is the defense option. You can also prime it for additional defense if you want more defense still. And then you can also pick up defense from your pet as well as your belt. In addition to all of these different gear options, you can also gain defense from Hongmoon points if you remember the video from yesterday where we went over Hongmoon points. If you did miss that video, make sure to check it out. But you can get a whole bunch of additional defense points from the Hongmoon points section. So how does the defense stat work? Basically, it is a flat damage reduction to any damage that your character takes. It's your primary form of defense in the game, it's your first step, and just hacks off damage right off the top. Your defense can be reduced by enemies that have piercing, think things like PvP where your opponent has a piercing stat. But for the most part, it is a pretty solid estimate of the damage you're going to take or the damage reduction that you're going to gain. Obviously, you want to maximize the damage reduction percentage without going overboard and giving up on other stats like critical damage or critical or other things that you can fuse into your primers that you would be better off putting points into. So now we're going to go ahead and hop into a spreadsheet that I put together on the defense stat. So this spreadsheet right here shows the actual trend line of defense based on different stats and an estimated maximum value. So the hard cap as calculated by using a polynomial expression is going to give you 32,000 defense that you need for your character to get 100% damage reduction. That's absurd. There's no way to even get to that. I actually went through and tried to figure out the most I could come up with. And the most defense stat I could come up with was 11,751. So you're not going to get anywhere near that maximum. So to get this chart, all I did was take different values for defense and then write down their corresponding damage reduction percentage in the character's profile in the this P menu right here, the defense stat, change the defense, write down the damage reduction percent. So then what I did is I created a line of best fit using both polynomial as well as an exponential regression to try and get an idea where that 100% sits. So I ended up going with the polynomial because it does have an R² value of darn near 1. But the exponential isn't very far off, so the difference between the polynomial and the exponential is only about 4,000 defense. And like I said, the most you can come up with here, or I can come up with, is like 12,000. So good luck getting anywhere near that 30,000 mark. So based on all of this information, what is the optimal amount of points to put into the defense stat to maximize your overall gain from it, as opposed to taking away from other things? And generally speaking, you don't really need that much defense in the game because the objective is not to get hit by anything. So it's kind of like a last stand, last ditch sort of reduce that damage that you take option. That being said, if you did bump your defense up to 12,000, you would get somewhere around 50 to 60% damage reduction. I don't actually know exactly where on the trend line that would fall. The calculator that I created here doesn't do an incredibly good job, but still 50 to 60% reduction on every attack that you take is huge. But in order to hit that 12,000 number, you need to actually get every single soul shield roll on the Tachyon soul shield maximized and rolled all the way into the defense option and then infuse it with defense primers. So that would literally cut your critical rate down to almost nothing. I think you'd be chilling around 30 or 40%. So not entirely worth going that option to get that additional defense. As far as a base point to hit for the majority of players, 5,000 seems like a very safe target. 5,000 is going to sit you right about 31%, just under 31% overall damage reduction. And compared to any of the other options, it's really not that hard to hit. You'll probably be around 5,000 with the rolls on your soul shield that you get for the start. And even if you're under 5,000, anywhere from 4,000 to 5,000 still gives you within 4% damage reduction compared to putting all of the other points in to try and maximize it. Now, obviously, these are only a guideline. If your soul shield rolls ended up giving you more defense, or if your accessories give you more defense, if you have a higher stage pet or anything, don't feel like you have to remove defense to hit this number. Defense is always good. but also don't feel like you need to put everything into getting this defense stat, because once again, the objective of the game is to dodge as many things as possible and not get hit by things. But anyway, guys, I hope you found this video useful. I hope it gives you an idea on how the defense stat works or what the defense stat does. If you did like the video, make sure to leave a like, check out some of the other videos on the channel, and please consider subscribing, as it does mean a lot to me. Once again, thank you for watching. I'll see you at the next stream, video, or wherever I see you. Peace.